Well, you know what? Here's what Cipher said to me. Cipher said to me before she passed away, my last conversation with her, we've had texts right before she got very sick. She had texted me to see how it was, but I spoke with her. She had called me in December, that parliament, the December parliament, the day before Freedom Papa Wu died.
Right. 2019.
That was December 16th because
Yep,
the
I remember.
parliament was the 15th, and that's Cipher's born day.
And he returned on the
And
16th.
And I baked a cake for the parliament and I baked the cake for Cipher. So she said to me, she said, Tuniqua, I would like you, because she said to me, she said she missed us, you know, sisters that left and went to the Nation of Islam. A lot of good sisters had left the nation. And these are, we're not talking about sisters that were not builders, that sisters that were not teachers. We're talking about good sisters that for whatever personal situations that they had in their relationships, because that was really the catalyst. And they you know, went their way. And what happened is there were no good, you know, role models or actual, you know, what does MGT and GCC look like? What does the woman in Islam look like? What does the earth look like? What does culture and refinement look like? I had excellent role models. I had excellent role models, and I have told this to Cipher and other sisters that you all helped to shape me into who I am, and I think you all did a good job. I think you all did a good job in showing me this, where I'm seeing MGT and GCC in activation, living activation with sisters that are doing this on a daily basis. Mama, when I got knowledge of self, I didn't know anything.
You said you was in the home with your mama.
Yeah.
You ain't know nothing about this.
No, I didn't. You know, when I didn't know about what it is to care for children and how to keep your home. And yeah, I knew chores and all that and how to keep a husband. But these were black women who were making so much out of very little. Feeding their children the best foods, you understand, natural remedies, sewing, cooking, and all of that. I know how to sew, I know how to cook, I know how to bake, but to see sisters that are doing this.
See, but there's not a lot.
There's not role models.
Excellent role models. And I'm saying that there's not a lot of sisters like you building like how you building right now. There's not a lot of sisters building like that.
What Cipher said to me, and I said to her, I said, Cipher, do you think that had we had stayed, because I told her, I said, Cipher, I don't recognize my nation. I don't recognize my nation. I don't know who's an earth and who's not an earth. Sometimes when they open their mouth and speak, I do, but then sometimes they open their mouth and I don't. And I'm told that's an earth, and I'm like, really? You would have fooled me. So she said to me, she said, Tuniqua, I would like you to take a more hands-on approach with the sisters. She said, I would like you to help me with the sisters. And I told her, not a problem. I told her, I said, I love the nation, and I love my sisters, and I love sisterhood, because the people who are in my close social equality are my sisters from the 5%, from the 70s, and we're talking 40 plus years of sisterhood. We must be doing something right, and we do not fight against each other. We add on to each other, and it's always been that way from our day one. And I had those role models. I was blessed to have it, and I said to her, it makes me feel guilty that I'm part of the problem, because I didn't remain. I'm helping build in the Nation of Islam. I should have been right here. So with these sisters, I would have been one more sister for them to see, for them to hear, who would have had interest in helping them to become the best black women that they could. Because like I said, we need as many of our people. They may not all come under the banner of the 5% or whatever else, but if they just have a nationalistic mentality and they know you are the original people, we need to carry ourselves a certain way. We need to reclaim our communities. We need to teach our babies. The schools are not going to do it for us. You understand? I had those women in front of me. These sisters don't, so you can't really fault them, especially if the brothers So many of our brothers, when I look at some of them, I was at a parliament and I said to a guard, he's pissy drunk with a flask in his, not a flask, but a fifth in his pocket. I said, guards, you all need to take care of yourself. You need to leave that alone. This is not a time for that. You cannot be in altered states and be yourself. If you are in altered states, you are other than yourself. And this white man right now has opened up hunting season on the black man. They're ready to take your head. They're ready to oblige you or lock you somewhere in their prison complex system. And I told them, you all need to take care of yourself. You all need to have women whose kitchen is your pharmacy. That's what you need. And he's talking about, well, we're not a religion. I said, since when does being an alcoholic have anything to do with religion? Or not being an alcoholic? I said, there are atheists who do not drink, smoke, or do drugs and believe in no deity or any theological, belief. And this is what they do. It has nothing to do with living religious. It has everything to do with living wholesome, living right and exact. And I told them, you have to be in your right state of mind, because this time that we're living in is not a time for sport and play.
You must do your own research, as I did.
If Mecca did this.